Hotline.com. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 19 days.
Watches it get out of here. Gackle sets and deals. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
This is school week, getting it started. And, end of summer. That's right, kids. Clear that sleep out of the corners of your eyes. No crying at all. This is when life actually gets back to real life. Not all of this fun and stuff you've been doing, sleeping in the last couple of months. Welcome back to reality. And welcome into halftime, 11:01 in the morning on a Monday, August the 11th on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. We have no guests with us today. Mike Irwin recovering still from his surgery in the hospital. We'll hope to get Mike next week. Did text with him earlier today, so I do know he's feeling a little bit better, but not good enough to get out of the hospital. And that's all we got today, basically. It's just going to be you and us. And, Matt, I'm all fired up about the start of school. I got the photo from the one and only Matt Jones a couple of days. Was it yesterday or Saturday? I forget. Which showed that if there's one thing starting in your life that you're fired up about, welcome back to football season, and I mean soccer season.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Happy Monday. You're right.
To football season.
Back to reality, no question about it. Yeah, soccer's here. The Premier League starts again this week. They had the Community Shield, which they take the Premier League champion, and you play a trophy game against who won the FA Cup the year before. And Crystal Palace had won the FA Cup last year, so it's kind of like what we're talking about with SEC and Big Ten, where you kind of what happened the year before. Where were you in the standings? All right, that's who you're going to play.
That kind of feels like an Ohio State versus Texas Week 1 matchup, doesn't it? Maybe that's not like a 1 versus 2 the way that we understand that.
No, it's the haves and the have-nots. But the have-nots won. The team that was more put together. That Liverpool started 4 new signings. They've done a lot of different changing. They've spent over $250 million this offseason on new players, and that doesn't mean how much they made on selling their players. You know, they sold Darwin Nunez. They sold another guy, Luis Diaz, to Bayern. You know, both for like $80 million apiece. So there's one. And then they spent two. You know, so you're looking at the aggregate what they got. But they're big time, man. Soccer's here. I watched Ford versus Ferrari over the weekend, Phil.
Good
I don't
movie.
know if you've seen that. But
yes,
man, that was a great flick.
Yeah, really entertaining too. Enjoyed that one. So good. Yeah, we're not quite a week away from college football. Next week is when we'll have our week 0 games. But it's all starting to. Well, I wouldn't say all starting to come together because it's scrimmage and still August camp, but slowly but surely. Our routine will reestablish themselves, and that's the thing that I was most happy about today is the establishment of routines once again. Because if there's one thing I think about summer that has nothing to do about the weather or travel or anything like that, it's that the routines that you've established from about the middle of August through late May just go out the doors. There are no routines in summertime. I'm looking forward to getting that back.
It's it's holiday hours almost to speak. But the thing that the Twitter timeline, I guess it's called X timeline now, that was really popping, Phil, was your boy Cam Little from way downtown bang. That was like Steph Curry range.
I was thinking about this too because, I mean, the record that Dempsey set, when was that? In 1970? It was the guy who had the basically half a foot and a plate of metal on his shoe, and he was a straight-on kicker in 1970 when he kicked the 63-yard field goal, and that record lasted for until 2013. Amazing. I mean, that's a long time for records to stand in today's day and age when you talk about distance. And now the record's been broken, 2 times since then, but this doesn't even count. Unfortunately, this doesn't even count for Cam Little. You know what it does tell you, though, Matt? You're going to get a chance during the season to do the same thing that he did. Because if you get the ball anywhere near the 40 and it's close to halftime, 1 play left, you'll get that opportunity again.
Well, the thing you have to worry about on that is the old kick six from Alabama Auburn game. You have to, so when you're kicking a long field goal like that, it's you have to block first to make sure they don't come around. And a lot of time the trajectory will be a little bit lower, but you have to cover as well. So you have to span out and make sure you go down and cover, because you miss that, don't get it there. You're not really the people on your field goal protection team usually aren't the best athletes. There's about 3 or 4 guys that are kind of athletes on there. So you don't want to have a chance to get 3 points and then give up a kick six.
Were you ever part of a field goal team?
I blocked a field goal in high school against El Dorado. I was a sophomore coming. It was a playoff game, and our safety had got hurt, and so I had to play safety as a sophomore on the varsity team. I'm more like play offense, but safety got hurt. I had to play a little bit, and late in the game, went through. I was like, I'll block it. Went through and blocked the field goal. Yeah,
that must have been one of the better feelings, in a football career that went all the way to the NFL. Just a blocked field goal at any point had to feel just incredible. And the moment that you got it, that you've done something that's pretty rare. 70 yards though, and this does not count. It's not regular season, so it doesn't count. And I don't know any other sport where we really pay attention to the distances in terms of just knowing the length of them. We know about Tony Dorsett has the longest touchdown run in the history of the NFL, 99 yards. There was James Harrison with that 99.5-yard interception return in the Super Bowl. I guess there's been longer ones that may go 105. 109 is the longest you've ever seen for a kickoff return. It won't go any longer than that. And the field goals keep getting pushed back. Just like you're seeing guys take shots in the NBA that looks like it's awfully close to half court, but it does feel like, does this feel like a one-off thing because it's preseason, because you don't care about the outcome? You're just kind of testing to see if the guy's got the leg. And Matt, he didn't just have the leg. It looked like he had another 5 yards of distance to boot.
Well, I figure they'll Tom Brady those footballs. He's kicking one over 70 yards. You're going to have to get those checked out. No question about it. The thing that you want to see, and we've talked about this last week about preseason, it's man on man. There's not a lot of scheming that goes on in preseason games. It's not that you're not scheming, you are, but it's man on man. Are you talented enough? Let me see what you can do. The fact that he just did that right there, Phil, that a coach will not hesitate to put him back out there. No question about it. You'll see that in the regular season.
Well, you think of Jake Bates with the Lions now, and I mean, when the first field goal he ever made for that UFL team in Michigan? What are they, the Panthers? I think that was 66 yards, which would tie the longest field goal in a regular season game in NFL history. What if you're going to have a year? And it's just amazing because when you think of, and I'm not saying that Bates was underused at Arkansas because you had a great kicker too in Cam Little and kind of difficult to beat him out. But Tesla was underused at Arkansas, and Bates, all he ever did was kickoffs. And that's all he ever did. I mean, he didn't even kick a field goal in high school. The first field goal he ever made was 66 yards in the UFL for a game winner. So now you got guys here in the NFL from Arkansas, a rare school now to have 2 kickers in the NFL, one of them that never even attempted a field goal for the school. And they're kicking field goals, Matt, that together would range about 135 yards. Kind of amazing to think about the distance. And, I mean, Cam's accuracy was off the charts here. Bates was really accurate last year, too.
I mean, my 243 was sighted in about a half inch at 100 yards. So you're kind of you know where that is. So yeah, 100 and something yards there. That's longer than a lot of your deer shots.
It'd be one of the more interesting stories in the NFL, and you don't focus on the kickers all that often. Although I will say this, I never like to hear the first thing that Sam Pittman mentioned Saturday, Matt, after the scrimmage when he's up in front of the media and he's not answering a question. He's basically just giving them a quick recap of what happened. The first thing he said is, "We punted well."
Well,
I never want to hear that the first thing that you think about that was good was punting.
Maybe our defense got some stops because that might be a thing this year. So maybe the defense get a couple of stops and you have a good punt return game. Yeah.
Well, and there was the other things that he talked about that we got to figure out how to stop the big plays defensively. And it's like for every big play you have on offense in a scrimmage, well, then your own defense allowed the big play, whether it was first or second or third teamers, whomever. It's going to be guys who end up on the field for you in some pretty important situations. So, yeah, I mean, it does feel right now, at least just going by what was reported from Saturday and what Sam's saying, and I think also what we're starting to think about in terms of depth at certain positions, you could end up with some high-scoring games this year. Because I think Arkansas offense takes a fairly big step forward from last year, and, if we're hoping to score more than 19 points a game against teams with winning records, I think, hopefully you can get up near 27, 28 in that case, maybe 30 to 35 points per game overall, even counting the FCS game. But I just wonder, Matt, about how the defense is going to be able to stop him. So I could take Sam saying we punted well and think, yeah, they stopped him a few times to get the ball in the air a few times from your punter. But then if he's also talking about all these big plays, well, that was against your defense too. It works both ways here.
You're finding out what these players can do. The thing about special teams is you don't want them to be a liability. You don't want it to be like 2 years ago, Florida special teams lost them a game. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of plays that lose it, but when it comes down to the last thing, you put out too many men on the field, you get pushed back, miss the field. Special teams lost them the game, not being ready, not being alert. You don't need any, and it's the dreaded plethora word, that you don't want to use to certain people as a shank. You don't say shank on the golf course. You don't want your punter thinking shank. You don't need that. You want consistency. I don't care if you can boom at 70 yards, if every other one or every third one's going to go 22 yards. I want the consistent guy that's going to kick it 45 yards, 48. Like, you got to be consistent. You don't want special teams to be a hindrance.
Speaking of 45, it is a 45-less week on our ESPN Arkansas stations, thinking about Colton and the family with this being birth week and parent week for the first time for the two of them, for the little family. So we're a little bit shorthanded this week, but very excited for Colton and the future of the family. So Colton, just never forget this. School starts this week, and in about 16 years, you'll be thinking to yourself, how the heck do I have an 11th grader? You'll be looking in the mirror, and then you start to realize, that's right, I don't look the same as I did 16 years ago or anything close. So it all kind of comes to a head when you compare your pictures from day one of school from this year to what these kids looked like 10 years ago. They look a lot better than we do as we continue to age. So it's good to be here on a Monday, August the 11th. Halftime today, again, no guests, no Mike Irwin. We will do 3 Up, 3 Down in the second hour. There's no Connor O'Gara today. We'll get him next week. So a lot of time if you want to get in with us on calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Just starting to feel to me like this year, Arkansas offense may be a step ahead of the defense. Maybe a full step, a step and a half, who knows? We'll have a much better sense in about 3 weeks. What would you rather have? A team that can score you 30 points a game or a team that's going to keep your opponent to under 25? 877-377-6963. We'll get into that. We'll have much more halftime. Just a moment. Stay with us.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Love the outdoors?
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full certainteed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with Certainteed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Every day brings new possibilities, like which Lux Cravings box you'll get from Taco Bell. Get classics for $5, faves for $7, or pure decadence for $9, now with a new crispy chicken burrito. Tender, juicy chicken battered in tortilla chips and rolled into grilled burrito form. The possibilities. Choose from the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes reasons. Tax extra.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
We come from different worlds. You like to laugh at me when I look at other girls. Sometimes it's crazy, and you wonder why. I'm such a baby, cause the dolphins make me cry. But there's nothing I can do. I've been looking for a girl like you.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
It was a big surprise when I called Matt this morning, and the first thing I heard before he says hello is I heard the song you just heard on Halftime. I heard, I'm like, what am I Did I call the right person? But that was Matt Jones. I called this morning.
They, when you plug in your Bluetooth earphones, it takes a while for it to hit. And I was like, oh, hey, Phil Elson's calling. I wonder what he wants today.
Hey, quick question here, too. If the Dolphins could make Hootie cry, do you think that if Quinn Ewers gets in a football game this year, he may have to break out the Kleenex? Did you see Ewers' line from the preseason debut? He was 5 for 18 for 91 yards against the Bears defense.
The thing that I've heard, and you might hear more than I do, is that Quinn's not the smartest tool in the box. Like he's got talent, but when it comes to diagnosing and like he's still, if you can, and some coaches saying, hey, if you got talent, I can teach you, make it simple for you. But he's trying to process he's thinking a lot instead of reacting. So that would be why I think because he has enough talent to play on Sundays. It's just maybe it takes him a year or two before he kind of figures it out a little bit.
I love the idea of a complete overreaction to a preseason debut. It's like give Shedeur Sanders the starting job. And
I think they're
maybe
retired
an
his
AFC
jersey
Pro Bowl
already.
alternate.
Yeah.
Those two things ought to go together. Well, they're gonna put him in the Colorado Hall of Fame. Just
That's
for that.
the jersey.
That's what it was. They can't do anything with his jersey because they've already retired the thing before he's ever played in a real NFL game. Isn't that something? 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Hotline. We asked, what do you want, an offense or a defense? Because I'm just getting the sense, and look, I understand you want both, but for this exercise, you're not allowed to have both. You're not going to, you got to pick one. What's the thing that can win you games? And I always hear, you think of the idea, the defense keeps you in a football game by limiting the opponent, by giving you good field position, by getting some takeaways. And I just think the thing for me that was really missing consistently last year from Arkansas defense was taking the ball away. And I'd be all right with a defense that allows 30 points a game, 31 points a game, whatever, if you create turnovers and it occurs at the right spot of the field. Because I think, Matt, this can be an offense that's got some explosiveness to it. But how do you view it? Because I come from a background being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan where you build it on defense, and that basically means your offense doesn't have to do so much heavy lifting. To me, this year it's just right now it's after one scrimmage, and who knows how this plays out. But it feels to me that the offense is going to have to do the heavy lifting for Arkansas this year.
Jack Del Rio, there in Jacksonville, defensive coach. I learned a lot about defense and philosophy from him. I'm kind of old school, I guess. Even Coach Nutt, as much as Coach Nutt, get the ball to some of your athletes, have a couple game breakers that can make plays for you. But he stressed defense. I think if you want to go first, you got to have defense. I like your point on, hey, if you could get a couple turnovers each game, yeah. I don't know that this team, but then are you going to give up more explosive plays? Those are backbreakers. When you give up 70-yard touchdowns, man, that takes the wind out of your sails. But the way the rules have changed, I think you got to start changing a little bit of how you see football, because the rules were different 20 years ago. Now they're kind of advantage offense. So yeah, you want to have an offense that can put up points, and then the defense has to be opportunistic. That's a catchword from about 2 years ago that everybody started to want to use. So yeah, you gotta be able to get stops. You have to. It's more situational, like third down. All right, so we got them in 3rd and 8. Got to get off the field. Can't keep them going on. But I still think you gotta have. Now, if what we have is a better offense, then what do the coaches have to do? You got to coach to your strengths, and then you got to know what you can figure out, because last year I'd say our defense was better than our offense. I don't know what you think. I think even though we didn't turn the ball over a lot, I thought our defense was a little bit better than our offense last year.
But there was still, just like there's always going to be an Achilles heel for whatever unit. And offensively it was, there were a couple of them, but offensive line pass blocking was top of the list. And maybe, not really finding, or Talon finding a second receiver that he looked like he trusted on a consistent basis. And defensively, though, see, when you get beat deep, and they got beat deep a lot last year, you end up in some situations where I think your offense is just put under a lot of pressure to keep up. And then there was, the Oklahoma State game last year where the offense builds this big lead, can't do anything to extend drives in the second half. Defense allows some big plays, and, that kind of was the way things went throughout a good chunk of the season. Denny in Tulsa says good offense keeps fans in the stands. I think fans just also want to see a team win. Right now, I think this is if you bottled up that Tennessee game from last year, 19-14, and you did that every week, people would show up. They'd be pretty excited about that. And Pinto says defense, and he says ask Matt about how Houston-Dale Nutt did it, and he did it the same way. That's right, just like he brought up. Let's go to Big Keith. He's on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can get with us 877-377-6963. Good morning, Big Keith. What's up?
He's up in the house. What's up, Matt Jones?
Big Keith.
What's up, Phil? How you doing, buddy?
Doing good today, man. Nice to hear from you.
No, thank you. I got a question for Matt, but before I do, I'm going to answer your question. I'll take defense any day of the week. An outstanding defense will win you the game. Here's my proof. Look at Oklahoma. They're always scoring 49, 52 points, and they still lose. They have no defense. Their offense is outstanding. Their defense is average or lower. Now, if you take a great defense and they have just an average offense, you're bound to get 7 to 10 points. You got to score something, even with an average offense. Where the defense will shut them down and the other team won't be able to do nothing. That's my outlook. So Oklahoma is the perfect, of a great offense and sorry defense. So, and then Matt, I was going to ask you a question. Were you happy if you had to do it again? Would you like to go play for Dallas, or would you think you might change it to a different team that might got you farther? And I'll hang up and listen. Have a good day, guys.
All right, Big Keith. Thank you.
Man, what was that? 2005. Man, my life is so good. It's only going to get worse from here.
It may have been worse you playing for Dallas.
No, I'm very thankful for the relationships and the time I spent in Jacksonville taking a chance on me. That was 4 really amazing years.
Here's the thing, though, that I know about you, Matt, and we've known each other now going on. Gosh, it's
about
been
a decade or so. Yeah.
It's been a little longer,
Almost,
actually.
Yeah.
But I think fans spend some time thinking about things like that. I don't know a lot of athletes that put a lot of thought into, well, what if this team or that team did it with me? And I shouldn't say a lot of athletes, but I know. I talked to Bubba about this, and he had chances to go play for other organizations in the minor leagues that might have been a little easier to break through than the Yankees in the 90s, but he stayed there. He stayed there for a very good reason. And I never got the sense that you ever wasted time in your mind of thinking of what it would have been like playing for another team.
Man, it was very, very thankful. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my, sports career or life was, playing quarterback your whole life and then trying to go to the highest level and play receiver. So it was a challenge, but the journey was awesome. It was super cool. I've been really blessed.
So here's part of the question about the offense versus defense, and what would you rather be, right? So if offense is going to sell tickets, how come people keep going to Iowa games? For what it looks like to me, Iowa sells tickets to Hawkeye football games. They might not be the most exciting offensive team in history, but it's a program that won 10 games 2 seasons ago, scoring an average of 15 points per game. Would you take that? In a heartbeat. Now, I don't think that happens in the
15
SEC.
15 points.
That's Big Ten. But let's just translate that into the SEC. I think anybody that's listening right now would take a 10-win. And those were 10 regular season wins. Iowa that year in 2023 lost the Big Ten championship game to Michigan 26-0, and then got blown out in the Citrus Bowl by Tennessee 35-0. They got shut out in 3 of their 4 losses that year. But they won 10 regular season games. You would sign up for that.
Sounds like there's no offense in the Big Ten. Because if they can't, when they played 2 good teams, they gave up a ton of points and didn't score anything.
Well, that Michigan team from a few years ago was just about as good as the Miami Hurricane. That Michigan team was one of the best teams to play college football. If you look at all the talent on that team, Iowa overachieved a little bit. I think they fired their OC that year.
Yeah, it was Ferentz's son.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they fired him. They fired Brian Ferentz, and then 2024, they scored 27.7 points per game. That's almost a full touchdown more than they'd scored the year before and won 2 fewer games. What do you want to have? You want the 10 wins or do you want the 27 points per game?
27 and 8 wins or 15 and 10 wins. That's a real Sophie's choice. 10 wins, and hey, Phil, I think if you're scoring 15 a game, you're not going to win 10 in SEC.
Either.
But if we did, you'd be in the playoffs.
I know, and you can always point to who Iowa played and all that. So I mean, wins over in 23, Utah State, Iowa
and they
State,
had the best quarterback
Michigan.
in the country that year, so that helps.
They beat Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Rutgers, Illinois, Nebraska, but then the losses to Penn State, Michigan, Tennessee, and Minnesota. They scored a total of 10 points in their 4 losses. You'd sign up for that, though. You know you would. It's been how long since Arkansas won 10 games? Heck, you average 7 points a game offensively. You find a way to win 10. Be the first team ever to do it, but you'd sign up for that in a moment. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline here on Halftime. Quick break. Back with much more in just a moment.
The only green I like's in my quarterback, and that's Taylor.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
You're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. At Dixie Digital, we go beyond copiers. We offer complete solutions to help your business thrive, including IT services, secure cloud solutions, and productivity-enhancing printers. With Xerox, Brother, and Epson cutting-edge technology, we ensure you have everything you need to succeed. Call us at 783-6600 to discover our latest technology and services. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple.
improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The last dance with you. Can I have the last dance with you? I must be out of my mind. I must be out of my mind. Can I have the last dance with you?
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Back on halftime here as we take you through hour number 1, 877-377-6963 to get with this here. Sam Pittman, this is the first player he talked about after Saturday's press conference. And who looked good? The question was, who looked good offensively? And this is usually the first answer you're getting these days.
He's fast. Can break tackles. He seems to set up blocks well. But he seems like he can run forever. You know, catch the ball, he can run. Yeah, the first play of live tackle on the year, he goes through the house on a little stretch play. He can make you miss. He's just an all-around guy. You know, he's a good player, and he's super fast.
The way that was edited, you didn't hear the name that he said. He said Mike Washington, and he said the way he said it was, of course. It was like, of course it's Mike Washington, because that's the guy who's standing out more than anybody right now, offensively. And, it seems your two top receivers right now, Omega Blake, Raylan Sharp, but Mike Washington is RB number 1 for the moment, Matt. And the way that Sam's describing him is this is somebody that can take it to the house from nearly anywhere on the field. That's good to hear.
Man, it's sound. I'm excited to see him play. I've seen Zero. I couldn't even tell you if he was sitting here right here, I wouldn't even know what he looks like. So I'm excited to see him play, and it's almost like getting too hyped up on a preseason poll or a preseason game. I'll see it week 2 against Arkansas State. I don't have ESPN Plus, so Alabama A&M, we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do, but I'm not judging this Arkansas team off of Alabama A&M. We'll win that conference. Whatever conference Alabama's A&M's in, Arkansas will win that conference.
It's good to hear. The thing that I do take from this, and I agree with you, is because anything that you hear from a scrimmage also means that happened against your team. But it does, for me, I love the thought that there's somebody that's got some size and the speed to go with it to be a danger to score from almost anywhere. If he took it from the house on the first play of the scrimmage on a simple stretch play, to me that means that can happen from your own 35-yard line, from your own 30-yard line. And I think that was lacking a little bit. And I think A.J. Green's got a lot of speed. Rodney Hill looked fast. Braylon Russell's not going to be taking anything to the house from 60 yards out. I don't think Jaquindon Jackson was that kind of running back either. So at least it gives me a little clue into a strength of Mike Washington. I think he's got finishing speed. At least that's what it comes across as.
That's an extra win. You talk about WAR, wins above replacement. If you have a guy that can take it, even if it's a receiver, whatever position it is, a skill guy that touches the ball, and you're talking about some guys can make that 30-yard burst, that 45-yard burst. But when you have a guy that can take it 65 yards to the house, because think about all these times, Phil, when you have an explosive play, a 30-yard play, a 40-yard play, so one last guy attack, and then you come away with no points. You know, it's an extra win right there on your season schedule. If you actually have a guy that's like a Fred Talley, Cedric Cobbs, I'm not going to say Darren McFadden because we hadn't seen anybody else like Darren McFadden, but you know, if you have a guy that can go and make plays like that, that's an extra dub.
You know, looking through last year, the longest run from scrimmage was Braylon Russell, and I think that was
he pulled his hammy.
That was in the Mississippi. Was that the Mississippi State game? Right? Yeah, down the right sideline, they caught him from behind. You wouldn't think that Russell would have had the longest run from scrimmage out of all the guys that ran the ball last year. Heck, you'd think it would have been Taylon Green. Rodney Hill ran for 70. I don't remember if that was to the house or not, but you know, the year before in 2023, you didn't have enough room for anybody to really get loose. So, to me, I think it's been a couple years since you really had what feels like a home run threat. Not just from what Sam's talking about, and you can see the highlight. You may have a home run threat. Hopefully, not too many strikeouts, because that was the issue. If we're going to go in a baseball term for a football team, there were a few too many strikeouts, tackles behind the line of scrimmage last year. To me, there's nothing you could do. Get behind the line of scrimmage. It's the same idea as a strikeout. Can't do anything with a strikeout. Can't do anything when you get hit behind the line of scrimmage. Can't do anything with it.
Would you play Mike Washington week one? How many carries you given your RB1 week? You know, because it's a jamboree game. Let's be honest about it. I'm already on record. I'd have my quarterback would rush the ball 0 times against Alabama A&M. And let's a breakdown. Get out of bounds. But how much are you playing your last year? Who didn't play week one? Our leading receiver Andrew Armstrong didn't play because he's. Are you week one you let him go out there for a drive or two? But I'm not getting him hit against Alabama A&M. If he's our RB1, he doesn't need to have more than 7 carries that first game of the year.
Jackson ran 8 times last year in the first game against
Fumbled his very first time.
That's right. Let's not see that either. Please, let's not see that either. Wasn't the opening kickoff 2 years ago also fumbled? I don't remember the exact situation, but I think we may have had these sort of situations. First handoff last year, kickoff return 2 years ago, fumbled. You did recover him though, so at least you had that going for you. I'd say no more than what Jackson ran 8 last year. Than 8.
We ran Jackson way too much, way too early last year, and he was banged up for the rest of the year. That's kind of all I'm getting to, and then. What did Coach come out? The first thing they said in the press conference was our quarterback was banged up the last 8 weeks of the season. Well, no, duh. You know, like your quarterback can't be running the ball 10 times a game in the SEC and expect that he's going to be healthy and be able to play all year.
So again, it was Washington getting most of the talk in terms of offense, and Sam did talk a little bit of it. The linebacker group may be a little bit deeper than expected. And a name that I'm not sure if I expected to hear now because I thought we'd hear a bit more about Wyatt Simmons. And it seems like with Simmons, from what Pittman's talking about, he's having a little trouble coming up into the A and B gap and stopping the run. Does like Andrew Harris, though.
A guy that has come on at linebacker is Andrew Harris. I mean, good player, physical guy, can run. He's moved up to 1 on every special team, obviously, besides field goal, but he's moving up the depth chart. I like Trent Whalen too, but I really think Andrew's moving up big time. I think he'll play a ton of ball on defense for us as well, as Brad.
Bring up Trent Whalen, so, kind of looking, I think, at Bradley Shaw, Xavier Sori, Steven Dix Jr., and I know Travis Williams. So you hear from I think Travis Williams is speaking right now. You get the coordinators today and tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday next week, too. He's called Dix, the quarterback of our defense, but then Harris is getting some talk, Trent Whalen getting some talk, maybe a few more linebackers than I think we went into last season thinking in terms of depth, and maybe that is maybe it is a group of strength. The way he's talking about the defensive ends right now, I'm a little worried about the depth at defensive end.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like I said, we haven't seen him, haven't got to see a whole lot. I know this, and as soon as the season was over last year and getting ready for the draft, somebody that's going to be really super hard to replace is Landon Jackson, and it's going to have to be by a group. But I think Landon Jackson is one of the best defensive ends to ever play at the University of Arkansas. I mean, that's how good that Landon Jackson was. Do we have anybody that's as close as good to him?
They did say some things about Justice Boone, who was a defensive end that transferred in from Florida. So again, it's not like we can get our eyes on these scrimmages. You can get your eyes on 20 minutes of a practice, but when they're pushed to bring up a player, and the first name that he brought up is Justice Boone in terms of defensive ends who have shown a little something. He and Quincy Rhodes Jr. probably going to be your starters to begin the season. 877-377-6963. AP poll came out. We had the coaches poll last week. There's almost no difference from 1 through 14 in the AP poll. It's the same 14 teams in both the coaches and the media poll. Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia. 1 through 5 in the AP. Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Miami rounding out the top 10. Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, and Michigan take it up to 14. Same 14 teams in the AP and the coaches poll. And then things change a little bit. AP's got Florida at 15, SMU, K-State, Oklahoma, A&M, Indiana takes up to 20, 21 through 25 are Ole Miss, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and Boise State. Hogs get no votes, which makes them one of 4 SEC teams that did not get a vote in the preseason AP poll. 10 SEC teams are ranked. 2 got votes. The teams that got votes are Missouri and Auburn, and none for Arkansas. Iowa got 5 votes because you know what? They pretty much feel that you can keep a team to 15 points a game. You may end up winning a few more than you lose. 877-377-6963. I know everybody loves the first AP poll of the football season. I want to thank our friends at Sterling Bank, always delivering a pleasant and productive experience, one that's always going to put you first at Sterling Bank. You find them in Northwest Arkansas, your community bank. Sterling Bank features top-notch customer service where every transaction feels personal because they're not just your bankers. These are people you live around, you shop around. They're your friends. They are your neighbors. Sterling Bank is committed to the people, the businesses, and organizations that make Northwest Arkansas thrive. You can find Sterling Bank in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville, and online at stirbank.bank. Sterling Bank invested in you and committed to Northwest Arkansas. Back to wrap up hour number 1 of halftime right after this.
As being a fan, there's a fire that burns in me just like when I was 7 years old, my first game in Little Rock, Arkansas.
This is halftime.
The Crane Automotive team has 16 locations across Arkansas and is home to the Crane Commitment. You'll find Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, and access to thousands of pre-owned vehicles. Vehicles for every lifestyle and every budget. Even if you're not in the market for a vehicle, the Crane Team service centers offer the latest in vehicle diagnostic technology and certified technicians to take care of your vehicle and get you back on the road. Check them out at craneteam.com. The Ruskin and Zach studios are driven by the Crane Automotive team.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple. Improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
So far, so good here on Halftime. Sounds like the morning rush went off without a hitch, and that's good to know. I was a little bit worried about gremlins in the system again, guys, because I had trouble hearing Chuck and Bo this morning. I know Bo wasn't on. Chuck, I think, did an hour of 3 hours because of internet issues at their studios. So you had that. I was in the shower this morning, ready to go get my daughter to pick her up and take her to school. First day of school at Little Rock Central. Next thing you know, as I got shampoo on my head. Yes, I know I have no hair, but you still have to wash your scalp. I had shampoo on the top of my head, and the water stops.
Oh.
I've paid my water bill on a consistent basis. It hasn't been late in a long, long time, so it wasn't that. And I couldn't react. I still have shampoo in my hair, Matt. I just kind of wiped it all off with a towel.
Water bottles
That's like the start of an 8-play drive, and you get on your side of the 40-yard line, and it's 1st and 10, and then you take a sack. And you're like out of field goal range, and you can't really do much. You're like, oh, the water stops. Yeah, hey.
Yeah, what happened with this? Now, there've been moments before. It's been probably about, how old am I? 48. It's probably been 28 years since this happened, but this happened before. I got out of the shower and realized I still had the shampoo in my hair. Water was turned off by me. Just kind of forgot to get all the shampoo out of my hair. This was 28 years ago. Since then, I've been really good at, there's an action to go along with an action sometimes. You put shampoo on your head, you got to get it off. And I know there's this dry shampoo stuff that a lot of women like to use, but that's not the kind of thing that a bald guy is really going to worry about too much. So, but the water's back. There was something with a water main in the neighborhood, but it's back. It's all okay again. The toilets are flushing. You can go make coffee or whatever. And the only thing I can't do, Matt, because I think our next commercial break is about 3.5 minutes. I can't take a 3.5-minute shower. It just wouldn't work. I'd have to wait until once 2 o'clock hits and we're done with the show today.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got some airflow going in there, so you'll be all right.
Still have some dude wipes left over from the trip to the Grand Canyon. I could have broken those out because, hey, I've got some practice with this right now. After just taking 2 baths in the Colorado River over a 6-day stretch in the Grand Canyon, I guess I don't really need hot water coming over the top of my head to wash me. So maybe later today I'll get that again, and the water bill is paid. And I don't think there are any gremlins in the system at the moment. So now that I've mentioned it, watch everything go completely haywire for the next 2 hours.
They don't prorate that, those billing companies, huh? If your internet goes down for a day, they don't give you that day's money back, huh? If your water doesn't work for a day, I guess you don't get billed for it.
No, they don't even give you money. They don't even give you money to recover from the bottles of water that you poured over your head to clean yourself, which I didn't even think about doing because they had to get a girl to her first day of 11th grade on time. They were not starting the school year tardy. Not at all. We are getting into hour number 2 of halftime, and the Lewis Automotive Hotline is open. 877-377-6963. Good to be with you here on this Monday. We're back in a moment.
Storm season is here. Is your roof ready? Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They have the #1 certainteed roofing company in Arkansas. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full certainteed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with Certainteed. Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling. Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Meet 3 Ladies in a Roof. We're locally owned, certified, insured, and bonded roofing company. 3 Ladies in a Roof can handle everything from start to finish with honesty, quality, and integrity. A hard-working company that knows roofing. Go with the crew that gets it done right. 3 Ladies in a Roof stands behind their roof so you can stand under it. Call 501-658-3193. 3 Ladies in a Roof, helping you with all your roofing needs. Ready to serve the River Valley.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
for today. Just a chance of a few isolated showers to storms in the mix. Our high temperatures today into the low 90s. Slight chance of showers and storms tonight, low 70s. And then on Tuesday, a much better chance of showers and storms. Our high temperatures Tuesday into the lower 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, Even, Ruskin, and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 19 days.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one racer back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back, halftime. 12:01, and let the rumors begin. That's right. John Gruden was at Georgia football camp last weekend, or at least I think it was last weekend. I just saw some clips that came off of Gruden's Barstool account and his YouTube page. He went and visited the Bulldogs and the Jacksonville Jaguars, Matt. And, you know, Hog sent him some gear, like a whole box of gear the other day, or a few weeks ago. Everybody's sending Gruden gear now for him to do a big unboxing. It's become a thing that all the teams want. They want a John Gruden unboxing video, and heck, it's not even anywhere close to Christmas time yet. But he is a popular coach. He is was a popular broadcaster, and he told the Bulldogs, and I couldn't cut the video out. There were too many F-bombs thrown in there. That he was there because he wants to get back into coaching. He wants to get into the SEC. So, Matt, let the rumors begin. Everybody will be paying attention to, well, I don't know how many ties he wears these days, but if he's got any red on any of his clothing, just let the rumors start up.
Yeah, man, I'm a fan of John Gruden. Like I've said, when I was at the Senior Bowl years ago, he was our coach, and as far as the side that I was on. So he was funny, cool, I mean, good dude. And, you know, being a head coach is a calling. Now they're getting $1 million a month to run a program, which is pretty cool. I don't think Gruden's doing it for the money. Didn't he sign like a $200 million deal with Barstool to do whatever he's doing there? So he had the quarterback club on ESPN that he's done. So I think if he wants to get back into it, the thing I would wonder is, what is his resume? He won a Super Bowl with somebody else's players. But he still won it. But what has he done, though? If you really think about like him being a head coach his last handful of years, did he win a lot of games, or was he kind of underachieving?
But I also want, do you look at his NFL resume and think that translates to college football? Because I think a guy like Gruden, because of his notoriety, because of his personality, because he's out there in such a public way in social media, it's a little bit the same as Deion Sanders. You didn't know what his track record was when it came to coaching big-time college football. Heck, even going before he was coaching at Jackson State. Well, you take a guy with high school, and does that always translate to the next level? I think sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But with Gruden, I think it's a matter of, do you look at the record that he had in the NFL, or what he could do for, I guess I'd say for your recruiting, but then to your point, Matt, it's like, has he ever recruited anybody before?
Well, he's very relatable. I know that. He's a player's coach. You know, he kind of jabs with you, talks with you, laughs with you, kind of makes a connection even that's outside of football. You know, if it's music, if it's politics, if it's sport, I mean, if it's movie, whatever, you know, food, whatever it is, traveling, like he's good at that. And I think that's half the deal of coaching college football is psychology 101. It's, can you make the players trust you? Do they believe in you? Do they want to go out there and play for you? Are they feeling good about what they're doing? Because the X's and O's, Gruden has it. Now his plays are a little wordy, like they're definitely a little long, but that doesn't mean he can't fix some of that. But yeah, I mean you're going to see what Belichick does. You know, who are the last handful of coaches that have really been NFL coaches that go into the college ranks and don't succeed? I think most of the time they have some success.
Yeah, I know Gruden coached college previously. It's just not a head coach. I know he was an assistant at a few spots. I just think that personality does translate to the kind of player that you're recruiting for college sports at the moment. But also the record's not great.
That's
at
what
all.
His record.
Coached 229 regular season games in the NFL, won 51% of them. You know, I mean, the way he went out obviously has nothing to do with coaching ability. And, you know, I think he has said all the right things since then. And it's been 4 years. And I think there are still some lawsuits involved in that. So I think if he does want to get back into coaching, it isn't going to be in the NFL. It's going to be in college. And it's already starting, Matt. Our friend Aaron Torres is pointing out on his YouTube page that Arkansas needs to make a phone call to him. Josh Pate, he's saying the same thing. I mean, all they're doing is tying together whomever looks like he's on the hottest seat in the SEC and saying, well, this guy wants to coach in the SEC. 2 and 2 together does not always equal 4. But I'd say this, if it does come to the place where the season takes a bad turn and you're making a change at coach, I think you do make that call. You do, because
if they win 7 games, though, we're not making a call.
Well, and then there's that. That's also the other side of it. And that's the thing. It's like all these people are already making up their minds as to who needs to be the coach for 2026.
I think it's going to be Coach Pittman. I think it's going to be Coach Pittman who's going to be your head coach next year. I think Bobby Petrino is going to be your offensive coordinator again next year. The one that and where I think Travis Williams is a head coach. I've been saying that for 2 years now. So we'll see what happens. I'd like to keep your defensive coordinator again because I think he might be our best recruiter. Just look at the linebacker. Everybody's just, you know, foaming about how good these linebackers are. But we'll see. We'll see. The good thing about college football is, man, it writes itself. We get to show up and talk about it and have our opinions and kind of digest it as it happens. But this stuff writes itself.
And what ends up writing itself too are the comments, the calls, the texts. Because of this, right now, for the remainder of the season, and Matt, I think you're right. If the team wins 7 games this year, and I mean, do you think it's 7
We're
regular
7 and 5.
season?
Yeah, if we're 7 and 5 in the regular season, have a bowl game. I think Coach Pittman is still going to be our head coach.
But you watch that, the first loss, whomever it comes against. Heck, even an ugly win.
We lose to Arkansas State and Memphis, then Coach Pittman won't make it to the Notre Dame game. But
Right.
I think we're going to beat Arkansas State and Memphis.
But it's right there. I mean, it's, you know, who are all it takes is for somebody that's as famous as John Gruden. Matt, it isn't even a matter of accomplished, famous, being as infamous, and the personality too that goes with it. That's the same aspect of Dion. There's a personality, and you think, well, that's going to raise the profile of the program to a place where your current coach doesn't raise it. And that's not, I'm just not saying Sam, it's whomever your coach is, you know, because of that, because of the salesmanship, because of, you know, just kind of, you never know what he's going to say next. And you feel that brings in a different kind of player potentially. And maybe it does, but I know there's a certain kind of player that also likes to play for Sam Pittman. All these guys have chosen to play for him. But it's any of the programs you're looking at, they, well, this is a team with a potential lame duck coach. If it's Auburn, if it's Kentucky, if it's Arkansas, you know, whomever, that Mississippi State, these are all they're all going to be looking at. That Gruden's going to end up there. This will end up being one of longer conversations over the next 5 months until he finally does take a job, if it actually happens.
How bad were his comments? I didn't read his comments. I've been around him. I don't think he's a racist. Just being around. But some of the comments that he said, to me, because you just asked the question, does it recruit a different type of athlete? I think so. But how bad were his comments where maybe there's some people that wouldn't let your child play for him because of that? They won't forget. They'll say, no, he's just saying that he's sorry, but that's really who he is. I don't think he is at all. I think, sports is one of the things that brings people together. But I know he said some comments and used some language that's really not, popular.
It was emails that were uncovered, and then sort of you wondered, how did those emails get into the public sphere? And I think that's part of it. And I don't remember all that was said, but I mean, there was the N-word that was thrown around in some of those emails. So,
my thing, is it true? Who was he talking about, and was there some validity to it? Is it sour grapes? I didn't read into it because I think you had to go search for that stuff, and I really don't care. And I know some people think what's on the internet is always true. Got news for you: what's on the internet is not always true.
I do think that wherever it is that he coaches, if it's Arkansas, if it's whatever, because he said he wants to coach in the SEC, it would be an amazing. Experiment's not the word, because you would have to have some parents or kids that would have to get past that, and I think a lot of people's minds it's water under the bridge. It doesn't necessarily mean everybody, but it also, when you're bringing in whether he won with Tony Dungy's players or not, a Super Bowl winning coach who's never been a head coach in college. And gosh, how long has it been since Gruden it was 2021 the last time he coached, and he was on Monday Night Football for about 10 years before? 10 years, I think it was. There's just a level of celebrity that I don't know any other coach currently. It's like, I wonder how often did people have the conversation that John Madden's going to get back into coaching? Of course, Madden I don't think really ever was a college coach, certainly not a head coach. And I never felt like he was connected to the college game, right? But because Gruden's done this quarterback university or whatever it's been that he did on ESPN, and he sits there with these kids that are going to get drafted, and they sit there and listen to him. I mean, Matt, just like you said at the Senior Bowl,
he knows offense, Phil. He's an offensive wizard. That's 100%. That's facts.
It's just, here it is, August the 11th, and there are a lot of media members, and I think fans too, that have already made the decision that John Gruden needs to be the next coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. And it's kind of crazy to think about that right now on August the 11th. You could end up with, just based on, now it didn't happen last year, but the few years before that, if you make it through October, sometimes in a certain situation, you feel like you may be lucky. If that happens here and you make it through October and you don't have the same head coach, if Sam's not there, well, let the conversation start. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Quick break. We'll have 3 up, 3 down right after this.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At the toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality, price, and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic World scratch-off games from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $200,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today, and welcome to Jurassic World. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime here. We'll do 3 Up, 3 Down in just a moment, but I want to go to the phones because we got somebody that just dialed us up. It's Jesse in Springdale. Before 3 Up, 3 Down, Jesse, what you got?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, how are you?
Doing all right. I gotta say, Phil, in all my time listening to the show, I've never been disappointed in you until today. Because as another bald man, I have to say one of the biggest advantages to living the bald life is not having to buy shampoo. Yes, the scalp needs clean, but I feel like a bar of soap does the job just fine.
The only problem with the bar of soap approach, Jesse, is that dandruff is a thing for bald people just like it is for those with hair. And I don't know, so maybe it's different person to person, but if I tried that aspect, I'd have half my scalp flaking off, so I can't go that direction.
Yeah, I mean the cost savings of living the bald life is like the best part. I mean, you don't have to sit in a barber chair or wait in line anymore. You cut it when you're ready. And then, like I said, bar of soap does the job just fine. Maybe it's when you get out of the shower, you got to apply some kind of lotion.
That might help out. So are you all the way bald, or are you like me, where you just sort of still have a little bit of hair up there and the rest of it is skin? Or are you like Matt, where you'll bick it sometimes?
I mean, if I don't shave it, it'll still grow in, but you know, in the front, it started to creep back a little bit, and then I got that circle in the back of the head, and that's when I
got that Brian Cardinal.
Yeah, I just was not going to sport that look. So, but
the
I was
reverse
one of those
favorite bald athlete. Who's your favorite bald athlete? And you could say Floyd Mayweather if you want to, but he's not. But who's your favorite bald athlete? Tim Howard, maybe.
I mean, I'd have to go back to MJ.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There can't be another answer. I mean, that has to be right. That has to be it.
Yeah,
because he made bald cool. I think so. A lot fewer hair replacement products since
Sam
Jordan came
Cassell
around.
had that big old noggin. Like you talk about, just had extra large ostrich egg noggin. Sam Cassell had it going on.
Didn't Jeff Garcia have a bald look near the end of his career?
Is he Canadian? Was he from Canada?
Yeah. So then when he had no hair, I thought he looked like he was Canadian. Yeah. I never thought anybody actually looked Canadian until I saw Jeff Garcia with no hair. It was the first guy I ever thought of that. Jesse, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but look, there's just certain things I got to have. I got to have Head and Shoulders for the head because I don't want the dandruff on the shoulders. And thank you very much.
I'm just lucky in that I don't deal with that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Very lucky in that, you know, I lived majority of my life with just really terrible hair. I mean, my hair was...
How old were you when you started losing your hair? I was 22 years old when I started to go bald.
I mean, it might have started creeping back in the front just a little bit, probably mid-20s.
But when you went for it, when you actually were like, nope, that's it.
When you gave in.
Yeah, when you accepted reality.
Yeah, well, I've spent a lot of time not seeing the back of my head, and when I saw it in the photo, what I currently look like, and saw how thin it was, that was about 5 years ago.
Oh.
I was like, that's it. Luckily, though, as soon as I shaved it, I realized I had the right shape of head to have the bald head. So
that's good.
I got that going for me.
Takes a little bit of time to figure out the shape of your own head. It's funny. It's easier to figure out that shape with no hair on it. Jesse, I appreciate your phone call. And, hey, we'll start a club at some point. You know, we'll all get together. We'll do fancy handshakes. We'll have passwords. It'll be fun. Jesse in Springdale making sure that I didn't mean to disappoint him that much. All I said is I left the shampoo in the top of my head because the water was shut off because of a water main break. But apparently the water's fixed now.
Well, here's the simple answer to that, Phil. I'm a guy, well, at least I think so, but I'm a guy that whatever I have, if it's soap, if it's shampoo, I'm only using one product for everything. Like I don't have soap and then shampoo and then conditioner and then face wash. It's like I have whatever it is. If it's a bar of oil of Olay, you know, if it's your spray stuff or whatever it is, but whatever it is, I just use one thing, and that's what I'm using that day.
So I try to go in that direction, Matt. I tried to be one of those, you know, very rough and tumble frontiersmen that would just use a bar of soap for everything, including brushing my teeth. But I guess I have delicate skin. Something happened 3 years ago, and all I was using was Ivory soap, and skin started looking weird. It was almost like half my face looked like it was starting to melt off. So they said, you know what? You have delicate skin. You need to do something about that. So now I don't do special conditioner, but shampoo, face wash, good bar of soap that's a natural sort of bar of soap because I got to take care of my skin. But Jesse and I may be bald both, but not everybody's bald is the same.
Hey, but there's really no wrong answer because you do take a shower and use soap. So really, that's kind of what we're getting to. So
Well, that's the standard to start with.
As long as you're doing that, then we're okay.
Just how frustrated that is on a Monday, on a Monday morning, when one of the first things, at least the coffee maker worked. Okay, the electricity in the house is working too. Everything's working in the house except the water, and in the middle of a shower. You're like, this is going to be the worst week of all time. But actually, it's gotten a little bit better since then. I just didn't realize that I've disappointed Jesse so much. I apologize very much for that, Jesse. Jeff says Butterbean is the most famous bald athlete. Eric, what was his last name? Because Butterbean was the name. Eric was his first name. And all he did was knock out opponents with the shortest little T-Rex arms in boxing history. He was a novelty boxer, too. He was like the Savannah Bananas of boxing is what it came off as.
George Foreman, another bald. Was Evander Holyfield a baldy as
I think
well?
Late in his career,
Later,
he was. But you're right, George Foreman would have to be on that.
He's got to be up there.
Yeah, we're going to do a Mount Rushmore of bald athletes. MJ, Foreman, Butterbean isn't going to be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's a little too gimmicky, but we respect his craft.
We'll have Butterbean in the souvenir shop at
Barry
Mount
Bonds.
Rushmore.
Does he get up there? Is he on the? Because he was bald.
The problem is that Bonds' head got so big when he got bald that he'd take up half of Mount Rushmore.
That's true. It'd be like a Siamese twin.
So I'm not quite sure. We got two of them. We need two more. I need two more bald athletes at some point, and we got an hour and a half to pull this off. Good question too. Is Ash? Thank you. Esch was Butterbean's last name. Eric Butterbean Esch. Guy whose nickname actually had more letters than his full first and last name put together. These things don't happen too often. How long was Pujols bald? I don't remember Pujols being bald.
I thought he had hair for
long.
most of his. Yeah, I don't think he qualifies.
Well, and then there's the other side of it. There's the guys with the hair that you never forget. Did you see the Yankee? We'll do 3 up, 3 down in a little bit. I got something else for you here. There was Old Timers Weekend at Yankee Stadium this past week. And I only brought it up a moment ago because did you see the photo of your boy Johnny Damon at Old Timers?
He looked like Johnny Damon ate Johnny Damon. Yeah.
Yeah, but spit up his hair and put the the wig of Johnny Damon 2004 right there, or not 2004 because it would have been 2005 I think when he signed with him or whenever it was. He said the same hair, but it was 2 times the size of Johnny Damon that we remember. Go ahead.
He did a Below Deck. I don't know if you're familiar with this series. It's called Below Deck, where people rent out super yachts and they film you for a week, and it's filled like high school drama. But Yanni Damon's up there, and they're throwing him something. He has a bet. He goes, "I'm the best 2-strike hitter ever." And I think he'd had a couple toasty beverages. He's a little toasty. And he whiffed three times in a row. Like he's having a great time.
He's Johnny Damon. He can do whatever he wants to do.
Ooh, there we go. A guy that ended up getting hair plugs after he played the game, Brian Urlacher.
You can respect getting the plugs afterwards, right?
He was bald the entire time. Then afterwards, he got the hair plug.
Ooh, I like Kevin in Fort Smith sends in Andre Agassi because nobody had the difference. The biggest difference between Agassi at the start of his career when he was doing those Canon commercials and then Agassi when the rivalry with Sampras really picked up. Then he went bald. That's probably, you got to have somewhere in the middle. Like Andre Agassi somewhere in the middle, nobody would recognize him with a regular haircut. Would never happen.
His 7-day beard growth that he has going on, yeah.
By the way, this also happened at Yankee Old Timers Day. According to Roger Clemens.
It was a fun day until we just heard about Mariano. Mariano hurt his Achilles.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I've done that. That's not
Was
good.
it hitting? I don't know what was going on. We all thought it was a hamstring, but I think it's a little worse than that.
Did it pop, do you think?
I think so. I think he's at the hospital now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, unbelievable. So
yeah, it's 2-0 count here.
If they would, and I told them I'm gonna put you two in charge.
2-0 count.
There you go. Put you all in charge. It's no longer an old timers game. We're not that old. It's an alumni game.
An alumni
Let's
game.
go.
No,
Yeah.
he wanted a hit. I bet it was when he was batting
I
because
don't
he
know.
wanted a hit. He got it, ran down to first base.
Terrible news. Look at
That's all right, so I don't mean this in the idea that it's hilarious, but if this is really how Rivera got hurt, because I did see a photo of it, Mariano Rivera, maybe the greatest relief pitcher in the history of the sport of baseball, a guy that in his career had taken 4 at-bats. He had 4 plate appearances in his career. He was 0 for 3 with an RBI in his career. And, of course, he's going to want to hit. He's not going to want to pitch. He may have hurt himself running the bases. And they don't want to use the word old-timers. It's alumni game. That's right. Matt, you can go back to Arkansas. You're not an old-timer. You're just an alumnus.
No thanks. They had Jacksonville, first year there, rookie year, we made the playoffs, and they did a coaches versus trainers 7-on-7 flag football game. Kind of got together. We had 3 coaches in crutches for the playoff game because you had a torn ACL, a broken collarbone. Like, you still think in your mind, oh, I'm still athletic. No. If you're not training and you're not doing the stuff still, your body might feel better. That's true. Your first couple years when you get done, your body, like, you don't ache as much. But if you're not a trained athlete right there, it's not going to be a recipe for success.
Rivera turns 56 years old at the end of November, and he still looks athletic. But heck, a little bit of a difference for someone that I don't know how often he has swung a bat before. But that's the worst thing I've ever heard from an old timers game.
What about your boy, Captain Hines Ward? He's a baldy.
He is a baldy, and all of a sudden I thought you'd tell me he hurt himself at some old timers game.
No, greatest kickoff return in Gotham City history.
That's right. Still don't have the stadium after that happened. Yeah, I don't know if he'd go on the Mount Rushmore, but does Shaq? Because Shaq was. So here's the question too, because Michael wasn't bald for his entire career. There was a little bit of hair. I think Shaq had that too at LSU.
But when he won his first title, he was bald. Yeah.
By the time
by '89, he was. Yeah.
Win your first championship. What about your boy Zinedine Zidane? Is that how you say his name?
Zinedine Zidane, one of the best midfielders ever. He kind of late in his career too. That was kind of what Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley. They both some baldies. Charles Barkley might be on the list. He was always.
Does anybody on the Inside the NBA show have hair? Anyone? I don't think so. Even Ernie Johnson. He's a baldy too. Well, this means at some point I'll be on TNT. All right. Well, that was going to be 3 up, 3 down, but guess what we didn't do? 3 up, 3 down. We'll do that in just a moment, so stay with us on Halftime.
When Matt Jones and Houston Nutt teams were playing back in the day, if those guys had 4 wins on their record at the end of the season, they still got in there and they beat the tar out of everybody.
This is Halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box. Now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Go summers nipping on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS, and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Each piece is made with care and personalized just for your special occasion, whether it's a wedding, birthday, anniversary, or just because. They help you give gifts that inspire, engraved with names, scriptures, or messages that honor Christ. Shop The Solid Rock, located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith. The Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 49 years.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I got drunk and fell asleep atop the sheets, but luckily I left the heater on. That song that I stayed drunk and fell away. I was often complaining the way I heard you say you like me. We drifted to a high pool. The people went to art school. They made it paint by mixing acid wash and lemonade. In my brain, I rearranged the letters on the page to spell your name.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Down. Blisters this out to right field. He has homered. Cal Raleigh's 45th home run this year. He has tied the one and only Johnny Bench, the second most home runs in a single season by a catcher in baseball history. The year of Cal Raleigh will not stop.
And that is where I'm going to start 3 up, 3 down today. A big up to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who hit his major league leading 45th home run yesterday. As you heard, the Mariners broadcast ties Johnny Bench for the second most ever by a catcher. He's 2 away from Salvador Perez's record. He's got about 7 weeks to pull off the record. It's great. I love catchers. I love catchers no matter what it is that they can do, as long as they can catch. But if you can hit like this is a rare thing to see, and it's a lot of fun to watch Cal Raleigh doing what he is doing here in, I think, his 5th year of Major League Baseball. So he gets my first up on 3 up, 3 down here. My first down is to former Texas quarterback and current Dolphins rookie Quinn Ewers, who finished 5 for 18 in his preseason debut as the Dolphins and the Bears tied at 24-24. Go ahead, Matt.
All right. My first up's going to go to former Razorback Cam Little. Everybody was going wild for a preseason 70-yard field goal. I absolutely love it. I would say over under Phil 3. I'm going to go 3. 3 field goals this year with 60-plus yards for Cam Little. That seems like that's obtainable, right?
I think that's attainable, but what about Jake Bates? Like, if you have two former Razorback kickers, one of them who never kicked a field goal at Arkansas, and they have two of the biggest legs in the league, how many total 60-plus yard field goals for these two guys who were teammates?
How far away are we from if it's above a 60-yard field goal, you get 4 points?
That's a good question.
I mean, gotta be. That's ridiculous. Steph Curry range. My first down goes to everybody that thinks Rhett Lashley is going to be the next Razorback coach. Sorry, guys. He's not leaving SMU anytime soon. They have a lot more money in an easier division, easier conference to spend. Their bag they're giving players is a little bit bigger than they're giving the bag in Arkansas. I love Rhett Lashley. I think he's a heck of a dude. He's a better human than he is football coach, and he's a heck of a football coach. But I don't see him being the next Razorback football head coach.
I got a second up, and it's to Shedeur Sanders, shining in his preseason debut. So, yeah, give him the starting job for the Browns right now as they beat Carolina 30-10. Shedeur completed 14 passes out of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. I only saw the highlights, so I don't know what the rest of the game looked like. Just looks like he had a pretty good debut. Go ahead and be the starter this year. It's still going to be Joe Flacco. Second down goes to, and this goes a little bit to what you hit at a moment ago, but it has nothing to do with Lashley. It's all the rumors of Gruden to Arkansas, and it's not even rumors now. It's now the conversation is in front of us for these next 3 months. This will be an overarching theme for sports radio until the end of the football season. And it's because, Matt, it's the same idea as you said. If Arkansas goes 7-5 in the regular season, is Sam the head coach? Well, he probably is, yes. And there's all sorts of reasons why you would keep him as the coach, and I think financial reasons would be one of them at the same time. So, but that also has nothing to do with other people's opinions, listeners' opinions, fans' opinions. And you know how many people already have their mind made up about Sam. So, you know, they're in that position where they're ready to move ahead already, you know, before the first kickoff of the season. So I just feel like with this video from Gruden from this last weekend, yes, I want to coach in the SEC and all of that. It's just it's right there in front of you. This is going to be a major topic over the next 4 months, and there's not much that we can do about it.
All right, my second up goes to soccer. It is back. Oh, my goodness. Had some games over the weekend. Got to see Liverpool, Crystal Palace for the Community Shield, a little trophy match. 2-2 went to penalty kicks. August 15th. Yeah, that's right. That's Friday. Liverpool kicks off against Bournemouth to start the Premier League. So soccer is back. Love every second about it.
How long does Premier League season last?
Well, it's 9 months, but here's what happens, Phil. So they're going to play 2 weeks starting August 15th. They're going to play till September 1st, and then they're going to have a 2-week international break. So they take their breaks, so everybody's not an international player, you know, and then you have 2 weeks international qualifying, whatever, you kind of go off. Then you come back and play for 4, 5, 6 weeks. Then you get another, you know, couple weeks off. So, but it's here. It's here.
Very good. Well, maybe at some point we'll grab a taco. We'll watch a match.
Absolutely. And then that rascal, my second down goes to that rascal, Jose Canseco. Everybody's always wanting to know what he's up to. But August 11th, so this date and time, 1992, he wasn't a fan of what was going on at the game that day, so he left early. He left the game before the game was over, and the front office publicly shamed him and ridiculed him. And I don't know if he was listening back then. He might have had, Lucky Star by Madonna on the radio, but that's, everybody's wondering what that rascal Jose Canseco's up to.
So that's 92 Canseco. I don't remember if this was with the A's or the Rangers, because that's the year they traded him.
Yep, but that was right before they traded him. Yep.
That makes perfect sense why he would be dealing him anyway. He wasn't any easier with the Rangers because he convinced the Rangers to let him pitch, and he snapped his elbow ligament pitching, throwing a knuckleball. Then he goes into the outfield. Well, I guess the outfield thing happened first. It was with the Rangers that some of the most embarrassing stuff in his, not just in his career, but anybody's career happened. Convince your manager to let you pitch as a knuckleballer, snap your ligament, go into the outfield, and have a home run bounce off your head and then over the fence. Yeah, for a guy that probably could have been a Hall of Famer, too. I got a third up. Third up goes to Colton Little, C45 and his family. Very big week and very, very excited for you. And then a third down is to Colton Little and his family because of this big week. It's all downhill from here after the kid is born. No, I'm kidding. It's not true at all. It's all uphill from here. It's all memorable things that you'd like to remember, but you just haven't slept enough to remember any of it anyway. My third down really goes to having the water run out in the shower, in the middle of a shower, with shampoo on the top of my freaking head. I'm ready. I almost want it. I love cats. I got a couple of them. I would have liked to be able to clean myself like a cat today, but then again, nobody needs to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Up for Colton. I'll do my down first. And my third down is Diego Jota, Portuguese international, played for Liverpool. 29 days ago, he died in a car crash with his brother in northern Spain. So yesterday, he was number 20. So the up goes to Liverpool, retired his number, did a mural by their stadium. He was 28 years old when he still had 4 or 5 years left to be really in his prime. Was a heck of a soccer player. And but yeah, you never know when your time's up.
That's a big bummer, Matt. Sorry to hear about that. Chris and Springdale's got an up and a down, and they're related to each other. The up is back to school. I think everybody's up with back to school, but then the down are the confusing school drop-off lines. My kid's mom and I split the duties with taking the kids to school. Here's another aspect too. So I got to convince, not a matter of convince, but the kids also can get on the school bus, but neither wanted to get on the school bus today. Figure, all right, guess what? First day of school, we'll make you think you make the rules. That won't be happening very much for the next 6-7 months or so. So the drop-off lines and the traffic around these schools, have you seen, my kid's mom, she took my son, who started 7th grade today. I took my daughter, who's starting 11th grade today. The schools are different in the idea of there's some shortcuts to get to the high school and other spots where you can sort of get around the traffic as long as you know your way around that neighborhood. The middle school, not quite. So that was sitting in 70-minute traffic, waiting and waiting and waiting. I can't imagine something that feels a little more frustrating than knowing you got to get to work. You got a busy day. It's Monday, for crying out loud, and yet you are in a traffic jam that is caused by the school and for no other reason. So I get it, Chris, and I'm with you on that. 877-377-6963 for any ups or downs here on Halftime as we go throughout the next hour and 15 minutes or so. Have you checked out Rowback.com? That's a big up for me. Rowback.com, so the most comfortable clothing for this weather right now. They also have specially licensed Arkansas Razorback clothing at Rowback.com. I got myself a Baum Walker shirt, tiny little Baum Walker stadiums all around the shirt. Can't wait to break it out. Not just during baseball season, but football season and basketball season as well. It's Rowback.com. Check out their American Summer Collection, RHOBACK.com. You get 20% off your first order. Use the code RUSH25 at checkout. We're back to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime right after this.
Matt Jones, sir, a player that I refer to that provided Hog Delight. You're a great ambassador for our program.
This is Halftime.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
From the job site to the deer lease, Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith has what you need to get it done. When it comes to serious utility, Polaris and Kawasaki lead the way. Now with the all-new Polaris Ranger 1500 and the powerful Kawasaki Ridge. Some models come fully loaded with enclosed cabs and HVAC. Call or text 479-783-5822 or visit WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
You know, you're getting in earlier about what do you want you want an offense or a defense, and you can't have both. And you can always point to Iowa as the example of defense can win you games, if not in the most exciting way. You're looking at that 2023 season, Matt, for Iowa football. They won games that year scoring 10 points against Northwestern, 15 points against Illinois, 13 points against Nebraska. Look, I understand these are not juggernaut offenses, so a little bit different playing defense against them. But if you go into a game knowing, or at least accepting, that your defense rarely allows 15 points and you're the offensive side, you might not be the most high-powered offense, but you don't feel tons of pressure, do you?
You're going to shorten the game down. You're going to let the clock run. You're going to run the ball. Yeah, I mean that's you have a little bit of a different I don't know if mantra is the right word, but your mission statement's going to be different if you know that defense is stingy and that defense doesn't break, that defense doesn't bend. What you're going to do at Arkansas, I mean, what you're going to do at offense is let's don't lose the game for us. We can't throw a pick six. We can't fumble the ball and put the ball on the turf and let them get it. You can't have a turnover on downs. You know, you're playing field. So yeah, your mindset and I think what we're getting at, Phil, is you just want the offense and the defense to be simpatico. You want them to be in unison. You want them to be on the same page. You don't want somebody to try to be somebody they're not. Hey, we know what our defense is good at. We know what our offense is good at. We know what our deficiencies are. Well, so we got to work that together and try to get the ball to bounce our way a little bit.
I like the idea, too, of an offense and a defense having similar strengths. You know, if you're going to be a program that focuses on being strong around the line of scrimmage, well, it needs to be on both sides. You need to be good at stopping pass rushing. You need to be good at getting to the quarterback. You need to be good at establishing the run. You need to be good at stopping the run, these sorts of things. You know, and I always think of an idea of a team that's got a big-time defense. You're always going to call the quarterback a game manager, right? Well, not always, but in terms of like an Iowa, or even in terms like, I don't know if we could point to McCarthy at Michigan from a couple years ago in that sense, because I think he's better than the idea of just being a game manager. But, you know, you always think of, well, just don't lose us the game in that case offensively. I don't think that that's this kind of offense this year. And I also don't think it's the kind of defense that's going to win you too many football games. You know, I think offensively you're going to be ahead of where you were last year. Defensively, I'm not quite sure. But again, it's like you always point out, Matt, and it's absolutely true. Until we see them against Arkansas State and probably against Ole Miss, it's all guesswork.
Looking forward to it. Excited. New faces. 19 incoming freshmen, 31 transfer portal. A lot of guys left. A lot of guys come in. A lot of turnover. A lot of change. Yeah, excited to see. What'd you say? Oh, thought the unit said something. Yeah, you're excited.
A lot of turnovers.
Well,
you said a lot of turnover.
Like an apple turnover.
Yeah, one that's tasty in the middle. Yeah, not one that you gave the ball back to him on the 3-yard line. And I also want to know that you can stop a team inside the 20. Heck, take the ball away when you got the opponent pushed back inside his own 20-yard line. That's an aspect too. Want to see those turnovers where it can create a shorter field for the offense. Hour number 3 of halftime coming up in just a moment. We have no guest. It is you and us. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline. And we're into the third hour of halftime right after the top of the hour.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones. Plus, the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, just a chance of a few isolated showers and storms in the mix. Our high temperatures today into the low 90s. Slight chance of showers and storms tonight, low 70s. And then on Tuesday, a much better chance of showers and storms. Our high temperatures Tuesday into the lower 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 19 days. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
.101 in the afternoon. Welcome back in. Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston. No guests, you and us. Get with us anytime. Lewis Automotive Hotline is 877-377-6963. Tomorrow we'll have some sound from defensive coordinator Travis Williams, along with linebackers Bradley Shaw and Steven Dix. Xavier Sori was not at the practice recap today, but he was at the scrimmage recap along with Taylon Green after Saturday's first scrimmage. There'll be another scrimmage later on this weekend on Saturday. And the thing I'm interested to hear from Travis Williams, Matt, is what makes this defense different from last year. And I want it to be more of a positive thing, not, where are the deficiencies compared to last year? Where do you think you have a little bit of a step up? Is it in speed? Is it in, they talk a lot about size for the cornerbacks, but I want speed to go along with it. And versatility too. I think of the idea of Steven Dix looks like a very versatile kind of a linebacker. The speed at linebacker to me can stand out because I love the speed from Dix, Sori as well. I think he got speed at safety. I think Worth moves pretty well. And, Sam talked about, and if there is one difference between between Arkansas last year and this year is I think you were going to be stronger at defensive end last year, and the best player on the field for Arkansas defensively would have been Landon Jackson. There is no Landon Jackson this year. So, they're going to be dialing up some blitzes. And I want to know why this year, and he's talked about, well, we like our linebackers. Do you think there are some players that can win a one-on-one battle to get to the quarterback? I'm not asking you, Matt, that. I'm asking Travis Williams that question. Who are the players that you think can win a one-on-one battle? Otherwise, is the way to get to the quarterback through the blitz this year? So you didn't see too many of them last year. But, if I'm thinking differences between last year and this year, size at cornerback is one. And I'm also thinking just in terms of depth on the defensive line, I don't know if there is quite the same depth.
Yeah, size and speed for sure. And one thing that, my pops was a coach. The sideline was my babysitter when I was 2 years old. So I've been around it my entire life. One thing you can't do as a coach is to ask players to do something they're not capable of. Everybody's going to look bad. So that's kind of to your point, and being positive is, well, what can we do on defense? Do we move laterally very well? Do we move downhill very well? Do we have speed on the back end that's not going to give up a lot of explosive plays? Are you going to be able to be creative on defense because maybe the quarterback doesn't know where you're going to send that blitz? They don't know who's going to send the blitz, and so then you got to kind of look around, and then you kind of mess people up.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear what it is he talks about and the questions that are asked to him, and then it's Petrino tomorrow. I do like that you hear from both the coordinators twice, today, tomorrow, and then the same schedule for next week. And then it'll be the last time you hear from the coordinators throughout the year. So, I think for tomorrow, with Petrino, I want to know about receivers that are standing out that aren't Omega Blake. I want to know about the health of Cam Shanks. They talked about Cam Shanks, or Sam did on Saturday. And for the guy who's your preseason All-American for punt returns, Shanks, it doesn't sound like he's practiced all that much. And so I think they said more limited in practice because of a hamstring. And it just starts to think to me, because those hamstrings can be really...
you got to take off.
Yeah,
you got to.
I don't think we'll see Shanks in week one, just based on what you hear there.
That's
You
okay.
won't need him.
That's okay. Let's make sure he's ready when it really matters, because the one thing you don't want to happen is to re-aggravate it. Then it takes another 4 to 6 weeks to really heal up, and then you're talking about A&M. You're talking about you just missed half the season, and he's an All-American.
Brandon wants to see a defense that's a little more consistent. And, you could feel that last year, but so much of it just had to do with who it was you were playing. They created turnovers against offenses that could not hold on to the ball in Auburn and Mississippi State. And then, dink and dunk to death against LSU. You couldn't stop the big play against Ole Miss. Defensively, they were really good against Texas last year, really good against Tennessee. Not so good against Missouri, so there was that up in there and the down, but a lot of it had to do with the personnel that you were going up against, and just against the better quarterbacks, right? Against Garrett Nussmeier, against Jackson Dart, just couldn't reel them in.
Well, what the game plan was. It was to keep everything in front of you and not give up the explosive play. And I really do think LSU, as far as offense, they'll have one of the best offenses in the nation. Does their defense come back up to par? So you understand what Travis Williams was doing there. It's just that LSU has guys on scholarship too, and I thought for the most part, the score indicated that we got beat worse than what it was, but for the most part, we tried to stay in the game. But you got to tip your hat sometimes, and sometimes other teams just better, and LSU was better on that day.
And also, it's like you can ask the coordinator about this, and ask the defensive. Well, I guess you can ask him about the offense and what it is he sees from them. But, last year, you really never knew what you needed going into a game in terms of points scored. Was it going to be 31? Is it going to be 35? Is it going to be 19? That's the other aspect of knowing what you got and feeling confident that, if we scored 23, we scored 28 today, we're going to win this game because we know what we have from this defense. And Yeah, there were games where Arkansas last year looked like defense was their calling card. But then there were other games where just got a little bit overwhelmed. That can happen in the course of a season, but I'd say they got overwhelmed probably 3 times. Oklahoma State got overwhelmed, couldn't slow them down. Ole Miss, LSU, those were the games. Those were the games. And the other aspect, too, man, and I think you and Clay brought this up, 35 is usually the number you're pointing to. You got to score 35. I think, now last year, and I don't know if it'll be the same this year, last year the number was 30. If you got past 30 in the SEC, generally you won the game. I think in previous years it's been 35, 36. But there was a downturn in points in the SEC last year, and I don't know if that translates from one year to the next. You get so many different quarterbacks across the league. You've had so many great receivers that have been drafted out of the league, and who knows, maybe 30 a game would be enough to get you 8 wins. Who knows?
Seemed like the running backs were down in the SEC last year, in all honesty. You know, I know Dylan Sampson, Tennessee guy, was pretty good, but when you look at the NFL draft, you know, were there a lot of guys in the SEC that at that running back position that got drafted? You know, did Quentin Jackson even get drafted, or was he a free agent?
Yeah, he's free agent.
That's what I like. It just seemed, and he was good, man. He was. It just seemed like that to me. That's why the tick was down a little bit. You got to be able to run the ball because then it opens up everything else, and that's usually the running backs in the SEC or their choice.
I did take a quick look at the Chargers and Saints on Sunday afternoon, and I'd forgotten because I guess we don't look at him as a former Razorback, but Rocket Sanders, he made his pro debut, 42 yards on 10 carries, 1 touchdown, and was second on the Chargers in rushing. I did see him get stuffed on a 2-point conversion try from the 2, but Rocket Sanders can run in the NFL. Just I don't think we're looking at him as a former Razorback since he didn't leave Arkansas to go to the NFL. He left Arkansas to go to South Carolina instead. You know one aspect we haven't brought up yet? The special teams. Sam did touch on that the other day. I think they like this kicker, Scott Starzik, Matt. You know, there was a down. If you're going to turn in one area where last year you weren't as good as the previous 2, it was place kicking. I mean, Cam Little was successful over 80%. I think you were more in the high 60s, low 70% range last year, and he had the big leg. I don't know if he necessarily had the big leg last season either. You had a couple of kickers, and Starzik's the guy in there. I guess he was 5 out of 6.
You have one of the things, Phil, that I've noticed. If you just look at football 30 years ago to now, 40 yards and in on a field goal has to be automatic. It has to. You have to be batting 95% when you have a 40-yard or less field goal. I mean, that just you have to be. That just has to be your number. It's not 40 years ago when you were just kind of wishing and hoping. People are making 50 and 60-yard field goals on the regular. 40 yards and in to be a scholarship. I mean, that has to be automatic. There's no excuses to be in the SEC, what's considered the second best football division in the world. You know, NFL, SEC, Big Ten is how you grade it. You have to be 90+% on 40 yards and in. That's just got to be an automatic 3 points.
And last year, for Shipley and Ramsey, it wasn't the kicks that were shorter than 40 yards. It was 40 to 49 yards. They combined to go 7 for 14 on kicks anywhere from 40 yards out to 49 yards out. Interesting, though, they made all 3 of their 50-plus yard kicks.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird. So, I think this kid Starzik's supposed to be the top kicker in the nation, or at least I think he was at one point, so maybe there's an uptick there. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Back in a moment, and much more right after this break.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
This guy is dominating offensively. He's also a quality guy. We had more fun talking with him. He was a walk-on. Now he's an All-American. He also is brilliant. He's a great student. Last week he got his MBA. The guy is just what top football is all about.
I've been called everything. Clark Kent, Kurt Rambis, Drew Carey, you name it, I've been called it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget. Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level. And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story. Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Pick me up from the bottom up to the top, love, every day. Ain't no mind to don't sorry fancy. Take my chances on every day. Left to right, up and down, love, push up, love, every day. Jump in the mud, get your hands dirty with love it up, every day.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Everybody's got hair in the Razorback Media Guide, Matt. All the coaches, too. Now, this is just from photo day, so who knows? But I don't think we got a bald player. Of course, Landon had that condition where he didn't have any hair.
Alopecia?
Yeah, alopecia.
Alopecia,
I think was the term. So I don't know the last time that you didn't have a bald player on Arkansas. I think I have another athlete though to go on our bald athlete Mount Rushmore. Although maybe you can help me with this. Because you got one basketball player that's MJ. You got a boxer, George Foreman. For football, get a look at Y.A. Tittle, Hall of Fame quarterback with the Giants. Took one of the great photos when he's on his knees, his helmet's off, and he looks like he's 65 years old, but he's only 34 because he's got the male pattern baldness before anybody could do anything about it. I think Tittle or Terry Bradshaw would probably belong on the Mount Rushmore for bald guys.
Well, I know if we want to see a Hollywood movie, Ed Harris would play Y.A. Tittle.
Yes, he would. Yes, the Y.A. Tittle story starring Ed Harris.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's how I know we're in this era now, and maybe this has always happened throughout the whole history of humankind. But as time continues to go, old people continue to look younger. What am I told now? 48 is the new 40? Is that what it is? So when Tittle was 34, he looked like he was 65. Does that mean Terry Bradshaw in the 70s probably would have looked? So Bradshaw looked older than he was. When he was winning Super Bowl in his mid-20s, he looked like in his late 30s.
I got to go Kelly Slater as a mix, the world champion surfer, one of the best ever. So if we're doing best bald athletes ever, my MJ, he's got to be on the list. Kelly Slater's got to be on the list. Did you say George Foreman? Who was our second one that was on the list?
It's Foreman.
Yeah, so those would be three for sure. If you wanted to go Terry Bradshaw, he might be the best bald quarterback to ever play. I know you said Jeff Garcia was a Pro Bowler, but if you're bald quarterback, I mean, there's not a lot of bald quarterbacks, are there? Like,
I think Bradshaw played almost his entire career, if not the whole thing, like going back to La Tech without home.
I could get behind that list.
The other question here is
Urlacher was on. Urlacher's got to be on the list.
But what qualifies you as bald? Because in the days when Tittle was playing, I don't know if a lot of guys were bicking their head. Like, it wasn't the look. You were trying to get away from that.
Going on, yeah.
Yeah, so if you still have the hair on the side of your head, but not the top of your head, do you qualify? I mean, you have to have standards for this kind of thing. Otherwise, anybody with a bald spot that has the reverse Friar Tuck going on, well, they're going to try to enter to be on this Mount Rushmore. So, but we got MJ, we got George Foreman. We'll go with Terry Bradshaw instead of Y.A. Tittle. I wrote him down as Kelly Surfer. Kelly Slater.
Well, Charles Barkley is another one that's, that fourth spot would be tough to get to. And if you're going.
Well, what about Kareem? So, because he had hair at the start of his career. He had hair when he was Lou Alcindor. I think he had hair when he changed his name. What again, this goes to the what qualifies you. Like with Agassi. Maybe Agassi never had hair because I'd forgotten that he wore a wig. He wore a wig to do the crazy John Bon Jovi late 80s hair. And then decided to be proud of his baldness. Of course, I can't even imagine Sampras without hair.
No, he had hair coming out of his shoulders. He oozes hair. Like, scientists should study him to get his genes for, the Sydney Sweeney genes, how the left is all out of control, but it's like she's got good genes. Well, of course she does.
Agassi could have replaced...
Sampras had hair everywhere.
Yes, Sampras would have had the kind of hair that you could create. You could
put it in the lab,
create
petri dish,
just off the hair off his chest alone. That's all it would take. I don't remember too often. Was Derek Jeter bald throughout most of his career? Or was that just late in his career?
I think it's late.
I thought that was late too. Yeah. It's not just the late moments of your career, because with Kareem, it's like I still think of him in the 80s, but didn't he have hair for most of the 70s? And he had hair when he played at UCLA. So I'm not sure if I would put Kareem there. Yeah, Jamie's right. Erwin Fletcher's not on that list because he had the afro. I think he was more 6'9" with the afro. He was 6'5" normally.
Somebody else who wasn't on the list was your boy 4'3", Troy Polamalu, the Hawaiian assassin. Yeah.
Yeah. If you are the poster boy for Head and Shoulders, you are not going on the bald man's Mount Rushmore. No, but I'll take that myself. That's good to know. It's really good to know that I ate the same soup as why am I forgetting? I ate the same soup as a great quarterback did for all those years, and Donovan McNabb. Yeah. I used the exact same shampoo as Troy Polamalu.
Floyd has to. I know we brought him up real early on the thing, but is he off the list because you don't like him as a human? Just because of some of the ways he is, but
he's always been bald, right?
That's what I mean. He meets all the qualifications.
See, that's
all
different
the criteria.
Than Foreman, because when he was scary George Foreman, when it was fighting Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, he had hair. So we just remember him as being the friendly, still beat the pus out of you, George Foreman, but do it bald with that weird lobster defense. So does he qualify? Or does somebody like Mayweather, who was bald for his entire career, get the neck up?
I don't know. I'm a Brian Cardinal fan and a Chris Kaman fan. If you remember, he had the patch kind of come in, and then it was all gone, but he's holding on to it like, oh, I got some hair left.
I can appreciate a guy like Chris Kaman, who's on television for all those years he played. He was mostly with the Clippers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody going to make fun of his hair, but hold on to that thing. It was beautiful while it was going on because you could see so much scalp there and all those strands of hair. It made me feel good about how I looked.
A lot of those golfers, Matt Kuchar comes to mind though, but you see him with the hat on. Every time you see a golfer, you see him with the hat on. And then they take their hat off, and you're like, oh, you don't have who's your boy? It's not Axl Rose, but who's the singer that always wears the bandana? That he was like the lead singer of Poison or something.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he's got the hair going too. You always see him with the bandana on.
Yeah, it's good for the dirty hair look, and it's good for the no hair look. So all works in tandem. So you said you started going bald at age 22.
22, man. You could tell, and that's when I mean when I said, oh, I accepted it. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to try to keep it. It was like I was 20. He's like, oh, no, it's gone. So that early on.
I started losing it in my teens. Even, I would still go get my hair cut, and the lady would say, you're going to have to do something about this.
Thanks.
Stop wearing a hat.
Thank you.
Once she said to me, you're going to have to stop wearing a hat. Well, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. I'm just going to have to be okay with this. She said you're going to have to, this is even funny to think about now. So make sure that you blow dry your hair and make sure that you comb your hair every day. And I'm 48 now. She told me this 30 years ago, and it's still funny. You're going to have to stop wearing a hat. Oh, yeah? Well, you're just going to have to stop drinking water and breathing. It's pretty much the same thing for me. So I was okay with it from the word go. And then my grandmother, I'll have to do her voice for this. Phil, I'll get you plugs if you want it. With her New York accent, she was going to spend the money on plugs for me. Can I just have the money instead? I got the money. It's a good decision. One of the better decisions I ever made.
Yeah, Paula J would try to send me some, this is the new shampoo, and I was over it. It's not gonna.
Everybody's trying to save your hair, but you, right? Everybody's trying to do you a solid. Really, here's the solid. Leave me alone about this, for crying out loud. Works for me. Just leave us alone about this. That's right.
Just give me a new ball cap for Christmas. Yeah.
2 or 3 of them. I do need a different hat every year.
Are you I know you'll wear a couple different hats. I got about 3 hats in the rotation, but once a hat gets in the rotation, Phil, you wear it until you lose it or it just disintegrates. Because once the hat gets there, you're like, yep, that's what I'm going with.
I get the sweat stains. I can't be wearing the hat where you got all these white streaks all across it.
That's when it's over with. Yep.
Yeah, and that's where I figure has anybody ever brought a hat to the dry cleaner? Because I need some of these hats to be fixed. Pit stains in your shirt, other stains in wherever else. What about the salt stains in your hat? Can they fix this thing? Because I got about 8 Razorback hats that I would like to put back in rotation. 877-377-6963 for calls and for texts. Get over to Crabtree RV Center in Alma. They've been serving our listening audience for 75 years and counting in the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. You will always get the best experience for every single buyer at Crabtree RV. Best RV purchasing experience. They'll help you choose the right RV. They got personalized financing. Top-of-the-line parts and service department on site at Crabtree RV Center. It's where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma. Online at crabtreerv.com. Back in the home stretch of hour number 3 of halftime right after this.
Have fun storming the castle.
This is halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
What do Formula One, the Peanuts cartoon strip, and Jay Leno all have in common with Crabtree RV Center? Yes, you guessed it. They are all celebrating 75 in 2025. Crabtree RV Center is so thrilled to have seen 75 wonderful years of business in the River Valley, and we want to celebrate with all of you. Come in today and take advantage of our 75-year anniversary sale going on every day at Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, parts, and rentals. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for 75 years.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321321. That's HAWK to 321321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
don't know if you can hear me. I'm feeling down and can't think clearly. Even though it's complicated, we got time to start again. I don't know if you can hear me.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Benjamin says, soak a hat, OxyClean, rinse, and scrub with Dawn. I've seen a few people say dishwasher, top rack, and then scrub with Dawn. I wonder, though, about how that works, if that really will do it. But, hey, it's not like I've worn these hats that I've retired. I don't throw them away too often. I got a red Razorback hat for the baseball team with the white A on it, and some of the streaks on the hat are whiter than the white A. So, yeah, I just got to get these things fixed up, and thanks for all of you that are sending them in. I've put a hat in a dishwasher before. It's just to kind of ruin the brim. I know it's got those little things that you can that'll hold the hat in place for you. So maybe I got to get that thing too. Cam Little, 70-yard field goal in the pregame in the preseason against the Steelers the other day. Won't count. You're going to get a chance, though, at some point to break the record. It's just I wonder how many times you're going to allow somebody to try a 70-yard field goal in a regular season game. It's going to be a very specific situation, end of half, end of game, and know that there's no room for another play. Because if you miss that field goal, and I know, Matt, one thing you've pointed on.
What did Coach Pittman say today? He goes, hey, our best athlete, our backup linebackers on every special team except field goal. Mm-hmm. That's the whole – that's a lot. 70 yards, Phil. That's a lot of area that you gotta cover.
You think if you miss that field goal, you are giving the ball to the opponent at the 40. Not their 40, your 40.
Well, I'm having a guy back there, and we're taking our chance. Because of that reason alone right there, I'm taking my best athletes. If we know that that's in your wheelhouse, that you might kick a 70-yarder, we're going to go over that week in practice, and we're gonna set up a return. Like that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm not, and I get it. Yeah, that's great field position, but I'm taking my best athlete and saying that you're like 8 guys that can't run a 4.8. I think we'll be okay.
We also think about how often would I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but how often would your kicker be the last line of defense on a moment like that? He's the one at the end of it. He just missed. He just came up short. 2 yards on a 70-yard try. Booted the ball as hard as he can. 68 yards, came up short, and he's the last guy. The last guy is going to try to stop. And because of the time of the game that this occurs, you're going to try that field goal with 5 seconds left, with 6 seconds left, knowing full well that if it is returned and you push them out of bounds, that it doesn't matter any longer how long they returned it. So there's going to be some moments potentially, but it's got to be very specific moments, knowing you cannot have another play after the field goal attempt, and I would pretty much leave it right at that. But seeing somebody attempt a 70-yard field goal and then to see him clear the crossbar with room to spare. Like he cleared that crossbar, Matt, by I think about 2 feet, if not more. It would have been good from 75, which would be 9 yards past any other field goal that's ever been made in either a regular season or a preseason game.
I'm all for having a field goal, if it's over 60 yards, having it be worth 4 points. Like if you're kicking on this side of the 50, so once that's kind of the mark. If the ball is kicked on the other side of the 50, I think it should be 4 points because I think that's interesting to finish games. You know, people start looking at the score sheet. All right, well, what's the score? What do we need? I love that being another aspect to the game, and it just you're evolving. The NFL they change rules. You have rules meeting every year. There's rules that they're gonna they're gonna change, or they're gonna make sure that we force these rules a little bit more. I'm all for that. If it's a field goal on the other side, if you're kicking it where the ball's down, it's on the other side of the 50. I think it should be 4 points.
You know, you think of some of the changes in other sports and how they're played and how far away from your understanding of that sport it felt. You know, I wasn't alive when the ABA first came around, but they introduced that 3-point rule. Can you imagine basketball now without a 3-point line? A lot of people have seen this. I mean, I still remember watching the NBA before, or that would have been around the time I might have thought basketball actually was a sport. So I don't think I've lived very long in the era where I could even remember seeing a basketball game that didn't have a 3-point shot. Maybe a little bit in college, you know. But how many people would have felt that that's a step too far? Just like I feel in baseball, it's a step too far to put a runner at second base in the 10th inning when they didn't deserve to get there. You know, do that in the 12th inning. But by now, they're not changing it back. I mean, I've accepted that's what the rule is, and that's what baseball is in extra innings. And I think there's a lot of people, Matt, that would think that 4 points for any field goal is a step too far. But when you're in an era now where you have players, you have athletes that can do different things than they could even 20, 30 years ago, what's wrong about adding another point here if you're kicking it over 60, 65 yards?
You got to evolve with the times. What's the rule in the CFL? As long as it clears the end zone, you get a point, even if you miss it. So you got to evolve. Either way, you know, I think the worst rule that I've heard in a long time that they've added is, hey, we're going to let you start at second. You didn't earn that. So we're talking about something you earned by kicking it that far. That's earned. You start at second base. You didn't earn. That's where it gets a little too gimmicky. I can't believe baseball did that. I think that's one of the worst rules in the history of sports, that you get to start on second base.
I don't like the rule at all for the start of extra innings. I understand the reason why the rule was implemented to try to save pitching staffs. So, but really, a 12-inning game is
what's cooler about having somebody else come out and pitch, because we're all athletes. Like, why are we getting so specialized? It's really like people trying to be smart when they're not, is what that rule. You're like, yeah, you're trying to act like you're smart, but you're really not that smart.
Well, and I don't like going to 2-point conversions at any point in an overtime period.
You still got to earn it. You still go play. It's still a play that you're zero, and you still go earn it, and then both teams get a 2-pointer. That is, you're starting on second without earning it.
Well, nobody would have ever thought of putting an extra point onto a field goal for a long time, because for how long in this sport were you even really trying too many 65, 60-yard field goals?
I've never been a part of a game where somebody tried a field goal over 60 yards. Never.
And now it's a routine. Well, routine might not be the right word, but you get so many more guys who can actually pull this off. So, but man, it's like, you know, when's the last time that football had a change in just the scoring system? And 6 points for a touchdown, you know, 1 and 2 for point afters, and then the field goals and safeties. I mean, when's the last time that anything was changed in the way that football is scored?
Same thing in basketball. I could see, if you're on the other side of the half-court line, be a 4-point shot.
And I think for a lot of people that would feel like a step too far. But I also think for them, if you could transport yourself to 1975, 74, whenever the ABA really came around, you would think, well, that's a step too far. Basketball's supposed to be 2 points just to get the ball in rather than a free throw. But it's only because that's the only way you've ever seen it. It's the only way you understand the sport. Just takes a little bit of time to start accepting that those changes actually can lead to a better game.
One of the things that Coach Neighbors said, and, you know, I'm a Coach Neighbors fan. He's with the L.A. Sparks, so you're always kind of, you know, pulling for guys that you know and around. But you have to work on that in girls basketball because there's 4 quarters. In guys basketball, there's 2 halves. So you don't have there's many opportunities to shoot a shot like that because there's 3 seconds left. We got to get it in. We're going to shoot. So you start designing plays for things like that.
877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Jody texts in about a 4-point field goal, thinks he'd bring back the drop kick if you're trying the 4-point field goal.
I don't know if they can kick it farther, drop kicking it, Phil. I don't
either.
I don't think that's that. I think they kick it farther when it's.
Does that help with accuracy just to kick it straight? And that's a straight-on style of kicking. Nobody kicks straight on anymore. I mean, Tom
Soccer
Dempsey that
style,
set the record in 70. He was a straight-on kicker. I can't tell you the last time I saw somebody that wasn't a soccer style. The only thing that's different now is you remember in the 80s or the 90s, and every once in a while there'd be a soccer-style kicker that kicked barefoot. I don't see anybody kicking barefoot any longer. I don't really see any because you know what? You probably have specialized shoes for it now. Might have been a little bit different in the 80s. Just seems to make more sense. I'm trying to think in my mind. I don't even think I could kick a 15-yard field goal.
Yeah, you could.
You think so?
I just you give
I'd have to kick it straight on because
That's
my
fine.
soccer style is just going to kick a ground ball.
You're an adult male with halfway decent strength. You can kick. We'll teach it, Phil. The 15-yard field goal, yes.
All right, well, let me push it back a little further.
35, I don't know.
Kick 30.
I'd have to go work at it. You might have to get in the weight room a little bit, but
did you ever kick a field goal in a game that you were playing?
yeah, when I was in like 7th grade, I was the field goal kicker. And then 8th grade, I went to the holder. And then in practice at Jacksonville, every week when the season's, every game week, you have a guy that's not a kicker and you can kick for money. You kick a extra point and then you back it up each 10 yards for a more, and everybody bets on you to go. I got called one time. I just did extra point and made it. It's like that was my only. Oh, no, nothing to prove. It's like, yeah, give me that extra point. Boom, just kick it low. Boom, easy, straight on, just like you said.
Who was the kicker on your Jaguars teams?
Josh Scobie.
Yeah,
Scobie was a G, man. He was such a good golfer. He was. I'm a Josh Scobie fan.
Brandon thinks he must have been the tallest kicker in history.
Well, 7th grade, I was 5'8", so it wouldn't have. Yeah.
I played soccer, so I would just youth soccer and everything. It's not like it was any good, but I could get the soccer ball in the air. In order to get the football in the air, I guess hit the bottom of the ball, right? Would seem to make some more sense.
It's about an inch up. Yeah, about an inch. And don't let your girlfriend lie to you, but about an inch or two up.
Were you soccer style? Were you straight on? I mean, how
straight
you
on?
You had to be
straight.
because that's the easiest way to do it.
I don't go straight. I only go forward.
Nobody's lying about the field goals they make because you got people watching. You can't do a fish story with field goals. There's always going to be somebody watching. Even Zach Arns, who's told some stories about kicking field goals. I think he's had people watching.
You see Chad Ochocinco, I think it would have been 9-10 years ago, but he had like a 31-yard. Their kicker got hurt. We had a game in Jacksonville, Phil, where the kicker, and it might have been Scobie, messed up his groin during warm-ups. So we couldn't kick field goals all day. But you had a backup. Donovan Darris, I think, was our backup at the time. You have a position player that practiced it a little bit. But you never really, coaches are weird. If they don't see it happen, they're not just going to do it. They're not going to let you in. But you got to prove to them that you can do it. And so then your offensive, you change a little bit.
Wasn't it Was it Flutie?
Last guy to ever do a drop kick.
But was it a point after or a field goal? I can't remember which one. But I remember when Flutie did the drop kick. And you think of, well, you got to have – remember, it was 2 years ago, and this wasn't the kicker. It was the snapper for the Bengals. He got hurt, and the Bengals lost to Pittsburgh in the opening game of the season pretty much because they couldn't get a snap to the holder on time. Everything was a second or 2 seconds off, and it led to a couple misses and I think one block. You think about the timing that brings on, and how those three people always have to be on the exact same time every single snap: center, hold, or long snapper, holder, kicker. And with the Bengals, they just couldn't quite get it right. I guess it's different with the holder or the snapper than the kicker. Dempsey 63 yards in 1970. Matt Prater 64 yards in 2013. So, boy, 43 years away.
Was he in Denver when he did that too?
That was in Denver, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Justin Tucker kicked 66 yards for the Ravens in 2021. Last year, Brandon Aubrey kicked 66 in a preseason game, and they got Cam Little in Jacksonville, which, man, I don't know if the ball travels there or not, Matt. I just know that it's probably a little bit thicker air, I guess. But does the ball travel in Jacksonville well? I never thought about that for a football stadium, like a baseball park, hitter's park, pitcher's park. I mean, there's some places you think are a kicker stadium and some that are not. Top of the list that nobody wants to kick in is Pittsburgh. With that open end near the river, that's a miserable place to try kicking. Jacksonville ever feel like one way or the other, or is it just, doesn't really matter very
You get
much?
the trade winds coming in. Yeah, there's breeze. It's a little breezy there. You could get that going on.
All right, we are right up against the break. We're back to wrap up halftime for this Monday in just a moment.
She's a peacock. You got to let her fly, man. Or your girl, Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect. It's like she's a free-range pony. You got to let her go, man. Let her neigh.
This is halftime.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple. Improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills.
800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. 800-993-1327. That's 800-993-1327.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Go out at night just to see what I can find. Staying in the shadows where the light don't ever shine. One-way conversations with darkness in my mind. He does all the talking. Hit it down, pull them down. Let me see it, turn around.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, wrapping things up on halftime here on a Monday. Rest of the week, no Clay Henry tomorrow or Wednesday. Clay texted me on his way out of Arkansas earlier today on his way to Colorado. So we'll get back with Clay next week. Tomorrow and a Tuesday, Alyssa Orange and Bill King. Alyssa may be able to tell us what the new gig is. So I asked last week, and she said, well, we'll talk about it more next week. Also saw Courtney Mims announce that she'll be leaving Pig Trail Nation and also leaving Northwest Arkansas soon. So she said she'll let everybody know what's going on there on Wednesday. So, Matt, there's some moving parts in Arkansas media these days. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think you are either. So we'll be here.
Yeah, man, they've been friends of the show. You know, whenever Alyssa couldn't come on, I think Courtney's, once or twice a year she'd come on, and yeah, you wish them nothing but success in whatever their next chapter of life is.
You know, the most exciting thing that's happened though today, Matt, is the water is back in the house. Thank goodness. So that means I can finally finish washing my scalp. That started at 7:45 this morning, and the scalp won't be totally clean until doesn't take me very long to wash it, so I'd say about 2:03 in the afternoon today.
Much prefer the mundane.
Yeah, and then tomorrow it'll just be like it never happened. That's good. That's great. Good stuff today. I appreciate everybody texting in. I think we've got a bald Mount Rushmore here, Matt. It's going to be Michael Jordan, George Foreman, Terry Bradshaw, and Kelly Slater.
I mean, I can get behind that. I can get behind that one. I like it.
We were only going to do 4. This will be the only Mount Rushmore that has a surfer on it that doesn't deserve just surfers. So that's well done. Makes it a unique Mount Rushmore, that's for sure, of all bald people. And yes, we did put Terry Bradshaw over Y.A. Tittle, because he won 4 championships.
Maybe we'll play some Italian disco tomorrow because we're the only sports show in Arkansas that does that.
Get the Swedish death metal out, too. If we're going to go with the Italian disco, the Swedish death metal.
We'll be very eclectic tomorrow.
An eclectic Tuesday. Can't wait. For Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil. Download the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast and stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach. And get up, get out, and get better. And have a good day.